Hi friends, Christine here, and I want to do a quick introduction to this video because it's one of a series of a few videos that I use different materials that I emboss and distress to make various things, mainly tags in this case. But I want to just mention that because I did the projects kind of concurrently and while other paint was drying, I did something else, that when I edited the video, I tried to not be too redundant in the instruction, but give you enough instruction to be able to do each process. I hope I succeeded. So that said, it's worthwhile for you to watch all of them, or at least, skim them, because I use a variety of materials, again, that are free and that should be in your house. And if you don't have them, you know someone who does. That's for this, and I hope it sparks some different ideas for you to do something even greater. So, on an unrelated topic, I have stuff. And I have so much stuff I can't even tell you. This is obviously stuff I've used for my own personal projects and to design kits. I always print out every single thing I create so that I'm sure that you're going to get the best product and best result. But that means I have a lot of things and that I humanly cannot use. So if you would like to get a small pack of Happy Mail, I would like to choose a few random people, and I'll do that simply by if you comment in any of the videos with this introduction that you want some of the swag, and again, I make no warranty. I mean, some of it is torn. I mean, I'm not always that professional when I'm trying to make a design. Some things like this I will probably skip, although that's a nice piece of cardboard. But anyway, so you can see what's in here, the kinds of things, and then there's this whole other small bucket of goodies, other smaller things that, again, I can't possibly use them in my lifetime. So if you think you'd like to get some mail, a little surprise packet, then again, just give me a comment, let me know, and then I'll arrange with the selected commenters and how to do that and make that possible. So I'm sorry I have to limit this to the United States. I hate doing that, but it's not economically feasible for me to ship something internationally at this point. That may change, and I will try and make that a possibility. But until then, go watch the video, and I hope you learn some fun things to make beautiful little grungy items for your journals. Bye. Good morning, friends. Christine here. I don't know why I always say that. It's not like somebody else is going to be here. Anyway, good morning. I'm glad you're here, and I hope that you find something fun and wonderful to make for your journals in the session you spend here with me today. So today I will be making some of these tags. I'm actually probably only going to make one because I'm kind of short on time today, but I wanted to show you a few of them that I've already made. And these are using, of all things, paint chip samples. Yeah, Don't Tell Bear or Ace. But these are the larger paint chip samples that you can get. These came from Home Depot, and these came from a local hardware store. And they're a little bit smaller, but they can still do the job. So if you can't get these larger chips that are, again, a Bear paint at Home Depot, then try for the smaller ones. And you can even, I'm sure, do very creative things with the other more traditional strips of paint chips. But what I discovered when I was embossing, because that's all we're doing here is embossing and then distressing, which is what led to the other video. This video led to this video of using the cereal boxes. So everything kind of ties together. But coming back to this video, here and now, all we want to do is emboss some of these, put them together, decorate them. And these photos, so you're going to want photos. These photos are from a kit that will be available by the time this video comes out in my shop, but use any photos you have and like. And let's see how easy this is. So I'm using my handy dandy Sizzix machine, and I just realized I'm missing my little spritzer. Oh, there it is. And all we want to do is find a embossing folder we like And in this case, for my purposes, I want it feeling very Victorian, very pressed tin, very lavish and fancy. So I'm using this one, and mine happens to be a Spellbinders SES007. Ooh, the spy who loved me. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'll shut up. So we want to simply find our pieces, and today I've picked my pieces ahead of time and save you the excruciating agony of watching me make a decision. So these are the ones I'm going to use, and I'm going to just use the same color on both sides for this go. On these others, I used different colors. Probably, oh, that one looks similar, but no, it's different because I didn't have the same size. It's the same colors. So it's simply a matter of regular embossing. So let's start with the dark one. I do spritz thicker paper with a little bit of Tim Holtz Mini Mister Water. I think it's Tim Holtz. So I'm doing this off camera so I don't get the stuff all wet, but you can see, I think that it's now spritzy. And you want to make sure you have the painted side up because you want an embossed image. You're going to put it in. So what I'm using here for this thickness of folder is the plate, the shim, then the folder, and the cover plate or the cutting plate. And we're just going to send it through. And it doesn't feel like it's having any pressure at all, but it is. So I'm learning to not over glue and over emboss. There we go. So that'll be great. Number one. Now we have to do number two, so a quick spritz. Back in, face up. And back in our little sandwich. And let it rip. Okay. Then we can put this away for now. So now you have some choices, a couple of things. One, on all of them, there's a little bear on these. So you could just cut them off, and that's what I'm going to do this time. And also the writing at the bottom can just get cut off. So I'm going to do that now because I want to be able to square up where I put my photo. And so I'm going to just take it to the paper cutter and give it a good lopping. All right, so now I've got my words are cut off and my logo is cut off. But again, here you can barely tell that that's a logo when you start sanding things off. And then I just covered the words mainly up here on the bottom. And these were both cut off. So actually these, yes, they were cut off. So now I want to make a square in here before I start doing anything. No, I don't. Let's sand first. And I recommend putting down some paper because it's a little messy. And I use a pretty thick, coarse sandpaper. I think this is like 80, if that's a number, to just come in and take the big parts off. And distress it as though, you know, that it lives somewhere and people knocked into it a lot. And then you can follow up with some finer sandpaper. This is like 150. And do a finer rub just to get some of this showing. The heavier stuff, the coarse stuff is a little bit better. And I've tried sanding sponges with this, and I don't like how they work. They give too much. So that's good, I guess, if you're doing something that's like round and you need to get around an interesting shape. But for this, I find traditional old school sandpaper is more than perfect. Imagine that being more than perfect. Okay, so here, and it'll be to your taste how much distressing you do. Okay, I kind of like that. I think that looks pretty nice. And I'm still going to distress further with a little ink and give it even. I'm going to take it off here though, because that's going to get in my ink brush. Just flip it over. Okay, so now I'm going to come in and make it dirty. See, even still, I should have swept those a little bit, but a little more grunge. This is a darker color, even than that. And I wind up doing this again after they're cut. I like to give it a little go first. All right, so now I need to choose a photo. And here are some of them. I think I'm gonna do this little boy. Oh, I like these guys. It's so hard to choose. I'm gonna do the boy. Yes. And not because he's in blue, but because he's cute. So again, this will be a kit. I'm deciding still how to arrange them, how to group them. Whether I want to do a whole set of children or a whole set of women, men, whatever. I have a lot of them. Okay. So now he's going to go somewhere in here. And the easiest way to do this, I think I want to keep that for the back. Oh, I kind of like that part too. But the easy way to do this is simply, I have this square that I know is a little bit smaller than my photo. So I'm going to stick it kind of in the middle and just trace around it with the pencil. And I have it a little bit up. I don't have it fully centered because I want some room on the bottom to do some collage maybe, or add some grommets or a bow or whatever I decide. But I want the space. So now you can see I have this little square. I'm going to use a knife and a ruler in the way I like to cut these things out. Not on the paper. If you have other ways you like to mark it, that's fine too. If you just want to eyeball it, if you've got a square chomper and it's going to come in enough from the edge for your taste. I tried doing a round with these and I like them, except my round chomper just doesn't allow me to get that far from the edge, so it's always really tight. But, you know, it has a look. Okay, so that's going there. This will go here. Oh, look how adorable. Okay, but you know, I'm still going to ink him a little bit because I can, although there's not much ink on this. And I'm really just trying to get a little bit more tone. Okay, so now it's just glue. So what I normally do, so that I'm happy in the end, and of course this has a use elsewhere, the cutout part. But I'm going to take a little piece of washi or regular tape or whatever you have, a spitball, whatever works for you. And I'm going to put this on the back of here. Actually, I'll put it on the bottom because I know I have a lot more room to tape down here than at the top. And let's line him up how we want him. Okay, good. Now I'm going to fold them back a little because I do want to ink these edges because they are white. I don't think I have to reiterate my feelings on white edges on old things. So I hope everybody is good and enjoying whatever season they're in. We're about to take summer back from the southern hemisphere, or summer, and I don't apologize. Happy to have it. Feels like spring. Okay, much better. Much better. Okay, so now we just need to glue this to this. So we're just going to line them up. See how my cutting was. Clearly I cut the same way both times. Go like this. Now I'm using Fabri-Tac, because I want it to get into some of these grooves, and that's going to help it adhere. So using the appropriate amount of glue, not too much, not too little. Get it up near the edges because you want it to feel like an enclosed frame. And that was probably more glue than I needed, but just the way I am. All right, so now we want to line our little friend here up with that. And let's give it a good press all around. That's really cute. I really like these. Okay, so now I'm going to let this dry for a sec while it does its magic. And let's leave that. Oops. Let's leave that. Now I want to think about what I might do for his little decoration here. And I'm not quite sure what. Something simple, I think. And probably not lacy. Because he doesn't look like a lacy type. All right, so he's going to get an Imagine. And while that's drying, I will round these corners by simply, oops, sticking it in my little friend and letting it line up naturally into the corner. Come on. You can see then I get a perfectly round corner. I designed these are from one of my kits. I honestly don't know which one. A good one, how's that? And I like to use them because they do that. And I have a bunch of little tags that do that because you know how I am about cutting round corners. All right, so he needs some words. Let's see if I can find, I just ripped this out of the dictionary. Oh, does he want some science? Well, that's focus. That's very interesting. The point at which a system of light rays converges after passage through a lens or other optical arrangement, or after reflection from a mirror. That's kind of fun, but it's almost too big for that. So we're just going words, and we are going to go with the word fodder. Horse feed for cattle. Foolish, foolproof, fool. Foot and mouth disease. Not loving these words. I know there's got to be something in here. Foolproof is kind of fun. Folk dance. I might go with the signs. Foible. No, I don't want to give him a foible. He's cute. All right. See, this is why I chose my colors ahead of time, because my making decision skills today, also known as decision-making skills, are terrible. I'm just in that space where it's all good. So how do you pick? So I'm going to just do this and go with foghorn and some smaller type down here. So I'm going to do the ripping to give it some life. And I hope our little friend likes the foghorn word. All right. And how long do I want to? Yeah, that's probably about good. Okay, so we're going to put this here. And I think I'm going to grommet. Now, I could have thought about grommeting ahead of time, and I could have grommeted just this side, and it wouldn't come all the way through. But I think I am going to grommet. No, I'm not. Change that plan, because then I'm going to want to stick something in the grommet. And I don't have an idea for him in that. But this is good. This will work. Also, I have pages of these cut out from the little pocket companions. You know, when you trim the page size to match the cover. So this is another possibility. I could put some of this as well. And again, it doesn't matter. You're going to do what you do. You're going to do what makes you happy with materials you have. I could do like that. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of cute. But of course, ink, ink, ink. Do I want to stay monochromatic? Or do we want to introduce a little color? I'm going with color. See that? That was a fast decision. So I must be getting better. God, I hope it changes. All morning, I say all morning, it is now 8:52. All morning I've been like looking at things like, is that what I want to do? Is that the photo I want to use? Is that what I want to eat for breakfast? Or maybe that, or it could be that. It could be egg, it could be avocado, it could be a breakfast bar from which I have so many boxes. Okay, so I think it's going to go something like that. Yes, I just decided that to save you all having to care. Maybe I'm going to do my corners and inking first. That does make more sense. So now it's all dried up. I could put it through my chomper. And something to consider is that you don't really want to be chomping with wet glue because it will gunk up your thing. Now see, this is a little bit off, so I'm going to fix that with my handy knife and ruler. Because you know, things should align in Christine's world. So I'm going to take my time slicing, not trying to strong arm it. I can come in and do the little corners. Again, you're going to ink and decorate to your heart's desire. So I'm not going to bore you too long. I could do that later. All right, so now I was putting foghorn first. And this is more glue than we need for this part of the job, but it's what I have out. So I just put a little bit. Sorry, fella, I wish I had a better word for you, but you might like having a foghorn. I could see you kind of traipsing around your house, annoying your sister, making noise all the time. Do you think I have sibling issues? Oh, fun. Okay, now we're going to put this here. We're going to put it this way. Take that glue off. I forget how I had this when I was actually making it. There we go. And now we're going to stick our Imagine here for up. White edges. And lastly, I wish I took out my skinny glue for this, but could even use glue stick, paper to paper. Like this. There we go. All right. We're going to let that dry. But there, you get the idea. A little collaged tag. And it didn't even need to be collaged. You could have left it plain, and it would be beautiful as it is. But for our little friend here, we're going to give him some things to think about. Imagine foghorns. All right, so you could put a grommet and, hang it as a tag, or use it as just a little tuck. You can add a pocket back here. That could be cute. You could even use the little, I would use something, oh, that's too bright. Yeah, something like that. Like you could make a little pocket in the back. You could do whatever you like. But that's all it is, simply using free paint samples. So that's it for now. I'm going off to have a day. Hope you have a fabulous one, and I will see you next time. Go create, be awesome.